Hi knitters! Welcome back to Rena Knits. I'm Rena. You've learned the basics. You know what a knit is, you know what a purl is, you know how to cast on. Now what? Now we learn some basic knitting patterns. In today's video, we are going to be learning the stockinette pattern. Now the stockinette pattern is very simple and very basic. If you're using straight needles, it's basically one side is all knitting, the other side is all purling. That's all you need to know. And you keep doing that in your straight needles. But you know what the benefit of circular needles is? Especially if you want stockinette pattern, and if you're making hats, or if you're making sleeves, if you're making cowls for circular needles, the default pattern you get is a stockinette pattern. What do you know? You just have to keep knitting and you'll get that stockinette pattern. So what exactly is a stockinette pattern? Let's find out. Keep watching to know how to make a stockinette pattern for your projects. A stockinette pattern is basically this particular pattern right here. So this is called a stockinette pattern. On straight needles, the stockinette pattern is knitted this way. So after you've cast on the number of stitches you want, on the right side or the front side of your project, knitting project, what you would do is just knit. The second row, which is the row on the wrong side or the back row, what you want to do is actually purl. So you would knit on the right side and you would purl on the wrong side. So this is what you would do for the straight needles. Now let's just say that you're using double pointed needles or you're using circular needles for a project, like you're making a hat, you're making a sleeve, you're making a cowl. So in those situations, it's slightly different. So this is, for this particular project I'm working on, a dress, I'm actually making the sleeve. So I'm using circular needles. Now, when you're using circular needles, the default pattern that comes up is actually the stockinette pattern. So you would just, wouldn't need to worry about purling. You would just basically knit, keep knitting like you normally would, and you would get the default as your stockinette pattern. So that is your default on circular needles, your stockinette pattern. Same with double pointed needles, because you're basically making the double pointed needles like your circular needles and just working around. So your default pattern that will show up is the stockinette pattern. Thank you for watching this video. If you've liked it, definitely don't forget to click that like button. Any comments on any other patterns you want to see or anything else you want to know about knitting, please do write them down in the comment section. I'll read them and definitely create a video next time. And don't forget to subscribe and click on that alert button so you'll know when the next video is being posted. Until next time, relax, enjoy, and keep knitting.